beautiful, and welcome to today's Thursday Talk and the Organizing Mindset podcast with me, paper organizer and specialist Suzanna Kaye. And I'm so glad to have you with me. So today, we're not talking papers, we are talking information, which in some cases is even harder than organizing your papers, isn't it? What do you do with all those ideas, the research that you find? How do you figure out even what notes you took in the past? How do you manage all that data? Well, we're talking about that today because I am obsessed with Google's new NotebookLM. So Google's new NotebookLM is an AI tool that is specifically meant to work with your data, not the whole internet, not anything besides what you tell it to pull from. So it is the perfect tool for so many different situations. And today we're talking about why. All right, so as you hop on, I shared in the comments a question. So the question for today is, tell me, have you used AI? And if so, which one or ones have you used? I would love to hear that in the comments as you hop on. Within the comments, I also shared there's a free Zoom live session tomorrow. I'm a guest on the, there you go. I'm a guest on the Your AI Coach live Zoom session tomorrow, February 14th at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So I added in the comments on YouTube and in the video description how you can register to join me live tomorrow. There will be a replay sent afterwards if you cannot join during the live. All right, before we dive into NotebookLM, which, like I mentioned, did I tell you, I'm obsessed with this. I've been using it so much and been really sucked down this rabbit hole of all the things it can do. And I've just found so many ways that it can save me time and especially mental bandwidth, which I'm low on some days. So before we dive into that, I want to hop over to the comments. I asked you, what AI have you used and which ones? So I know Bonnie says, and this is absolutely something that I've heard many times, so you're going to love this session. She says, I did not want to use AI on purpose, but I think I certainly have used it unknowingly. You absolutely have. Google. When you search something in Google, AI, you've been using AI for a very long time. When you ask Alexa or SIRI something, that's AI. Now we simply have the tools to use it ourselves instead of depending on other companies to integrate it into their software and us not even know that it's there. So hopefully you will enjoy today. And if you are concerned about security in AI, privacy and security, which is a valid concern, as well as the future of AI and things that you want to make sure to be aware of, then make sure to check out the webinar on my website. Go to SuzannaKaye.com and log in to your online library. If you have any problems with that or you don't know how, then shoot me an email, hello@SuzannaKaye.com, and I can help you get logged in. But within that library, if you don't already own that webinar, you will see it's grayed out for the AI webinar. That is the overview of AI. It's one of the best productivity tools, but I go really in depth into what are the safety concerns, what is the possible future for AI, how do we protect our privacy, as well as I talk about some of the ways to use it safely. So if you're concerned about that, which hopefully most of you are, because it is something that it's important to be aware of, then make sure to check out that webinar. But yeah, using AI, the more you know, the better you can be, the more secure you can be, I should say, right? Great comment, Bonnie. Thank you for that one. Hello, Melody, and hello, lovely Marie. Let's see. Lovely Marie says, no, I have not used AI, but I would like to learn more about it. Perfect. Well, this is the week for you. Let me tell you, we've got free stuff for you to learn those basics and see if it's something that you want to dive deeper into. I love it. Hey, Jana, good to have you. And Priscilla. Hello, Nancy. Nancy says, I've used ChatGPT mostly to show other people what you showed us and how cool it is. That's wonderful. Yay. So you have dipped your toe in a bit and have seen a bit of what it can do, which is wonderful. You're going to love this one then, Nancy. This is even easier than ChatGPT, which is pretty easy. Peggy Jean, she says, hello. She says, I've not used AI yet. And Melody's just used ChatGPT so far. Awesome. Great start. That is such a good start. Sue says, she's not intentionally used AI. Yep. Awesome. And oh, Suzanne, she says, registered for tomorrow. Yay. Yes. So in the comments and in the description, make sure register for tomorrow's free Zoom talk. I will be on a live Zoom session with your AI coach, Angelina. I am her guest tomorrow. It's about 30 minutes to an hour long at the most. We're aiming for closer to 30. And it is how to use AI for your ADHD ideas. So we're talking ChatGPT, NotebookLM, and how to use these super easy tools if you're a bit neurosparkly like I am. So I will give you some overviews of ideas of what types of things you can do to just be more productive and keep it all together if you have either ADHD or some other neurodiverse, I don't even know what to call it, brain pattern, or if you're simply overwhelmed with stuff, because these same ADHD techniques will work very well if you just feel like there's so much going on and so much to do and so much to keep track of. This is for you. So I hope that you can join us. I'm glad that you're registered, Suzanne. I'll see you there. Yeah, Priscilla says, AI has been a handy summary of my Google searches. Yes, you'll notice in Google, the first top part pulls a bunch of information from various websites in order to give you a quick summary. And we talk about in the first AI webinar that I did, we talk about how to verify the information that AI gives you. It's not perfect yet. I don't know that it'll ever be perfect because it's fed information by humans and we're not perfect, nor should we think that we ever should be. We're perfectly imperfect, but it is very handy, isn't it? Absolutely. Oh, yay. Lovely Marie is registered for tomorrow too. Awesome. I'll see you ladies there. All right, well, let's dive in. Keep telling me as you hop on. Let me know what type of AI you have used so far, or if you have not really taken the dive into AI yet. I'd love to hear that in the comments. But let's talk about why I am obsessed with Google's NotebookLM. Starting with, what the heck is Google's NotebookLM, right? Now, I want to pull up, let me see. I want to pull up one of my notebooks in NotebookLM, and I will share a few things that it can do with you. So there we go. All right, so NotebookLM, you'll see on the screen, it is by Google, and it was, created by Google Labs. It is the first well-known, I don't know, possibly the first ever, AI first notebook. So the first notebook type of application or software that is primarily driven by AI versus just having AI tools that are available, but it's kind of its own structure. So Google has put this together, and it is a new kind of notebook. Like, this is ridiculously cool. So, and actually, there's some things that I'll put on the screen just to remind you what we're talking about. So, like I said, this was developed by Google Labs, and just like a notebook that you would have in your office or in your home, whatever type of notebook you would have, it has pages, you put information on the pages, and within the notebook, you might have multiple types of information. You might have a lot of different types of ideas or information, or it might all be on one subject. Either way, does not matter, because Google's NotebookLM, LM usually stands for learning model. I don't know officially if that's what Google LM is meant to be, learning model, but most likely it is. That would be my guess. But the learning model, the great thing is it only learns for you. So unlike something like ChatGPT, depending on your settings, or a lot of these other AI services that will take information that you allow it to take and share it to learn more and become better and smarter and more advanced. And it also pulls data from other places. A lot of times, if you ask something like ChatGPT, if you ask it, let's see, you could ask it, what should I do for an irregular heartbeat? And if it's something like ChatGPT or something that's connected to outside sources, then it will pull outside information as well as anything that you've entered into it for it to pull from, right? So NotebookLM by Google actually pulls just your information. So if you had all of your doctor's instructions on what to do for your irregular heartbeat entered as one of the sources in your notebook, like one of the pages, virtual pages in your notebook, then your NotebookLM is only going to pull the information that you provided it. So it's not going to look on the internet for information, which with something like, what did my doctor say to do for my irregular heartbeat? Not a great place to find your final information. Great to start with, not great to find that final information. But NotebookLM is a fantastic place because it's only feeding what you put into it, and it's not sharing this information anywhere else. So it's not learning from your information. Your information is not going to turn up in somebody else's search results if they search for the same topic. It just stays within your digital notebook, and it's just for you to pull from. So that's why it's called NotebookLM, because it really is like a notebook. So what can NotebookLM do? Well, the main focus of NotebookLM seems to be research and learning for personal use, right? Or small business use, basically for your use versus people you don't know. It helps you summarize information. It helps you pull information on specific topics or types of information. It helps you analyze. It helps you brainstorm. It does so many different things with your own information. So, like I mentioned on Friday, that's tomorrow in the free session, I will be talking about some of the use cases for specifically helping manage that overwhelm and the ADHD brain and some of the use cases it has for that. But I wanted to tell you a little bit about what it can do for everyone. There's probably like hundreds of things that it can do. I could sit here all day and tell you ideas, but here are a few of the top ones. So here are, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 ways that NotebookLM can help you out. So one way is it can find information instantly. Now, in my upcoming webinar that I'll talk about later, I go in depth into exactly how to do this, but let me share my screen, show it so I can kind of give you an overview as we talk about it. I'm not going to answer any technical questions. I'm simply going to show you an overview, because later would be the technical questions during the webinar. But let's see, I want to share here. So this is one example notebook that I created. And this is just a very small notebook. I did not add a whole lot of resources or anything like that. But as you can see on the left-hand side, hopefully you can see it. Let me change the view so it might be a little bit bigger. There we go. So on the left-hand side, over my picture, over my video, these are some of the sources that I entered. This is all my information that I decided that it can pull from. So some of the sources that it can pull from, it links directly with Google Docs. If you link your drive, your Google Drive, then it can pull those Google Docs directly from your Google Drive, which is awesome. So you'll see I have about 5 different documents. The first 5 on that list are Google Docs that I have information in. And I think all of those are just transcripts from Thursday Talks and live Pathfinder sessions that I've had. And then the sixth one is actually a link to my website. So it can pull from a website. Now it can only pull the public data and it can only pull the text information. So it can't figure out what the pictures are or graphs or things like that. But it can pull all of that text information from a website if you enter the website URL. Let me put this. Okay, so supported formats. I'll share this on the screen so you can see what the supported formats are. Maybe. And they'll probably add more as they go. It's a little long. Here we go. Okay, so Google Docs, Google Slides, website URLs, just the public information. So if there's a paid article where you have to pay first, it won't pull that information. Audio, because it'll create a transcript. PDFs, just the text portion. YouTube videos, just the transcript of the audio. And markdown format and pasted text. So those are some formats that you can use to create a source in NotebookLM. So I've told it just what information I want it to pull from. So these sources are the only things it's going to look at. It won't look at my other notebooks that I've created with NotebookLM. I have several. It won't look at the rest of the things on my Google Drive. It won't look at other websites or any other information on the internet. It's only looking at the sources that I have told it to look at. Now, what can it do, right? It finds information instantly, which is one of the amazing things that it does. So this information that it can find instantly, it would be from those sources. So one of the sources is a transcript from our previous Thursday talk about what's your thinking style. So I can ask it a question. What are the thinking styles? And it will pull just from those transcripts. So right now it's looking through the transcripts. I just uploaded the sources recently, so it might be a bit slower to start with, but here we go. If you watched last week, then you know that we talked about verbal or linguistic thinkers, visual or spatial thinkers, kinesthetic or embodied thinkers, multisensory or auditory thinkers, and abstract or conceptual thinkers. So it gave me the different types, it gave me a little summary of them, and it cited exactly where in my information it found what it's talking about. So all these little gray dots, those are links to the source where it found it. So I can click on it and it'll go to exactly what I said within that transcript to back up what it just pulled that information from. So those are the fast retrieval of information. So if you had, for example, uploaded all of your journals, right? Every journal you've written for the past year or so, then you could ask it a question and it'll pull information. And you can ask it all types of questions. So finding information easily is one of the ways that it shines. So if you have notes on marketing ideas, boom, you can say, what marketing ideas have I had for my NotebookLM webinar? And it can pull all of those up for you. What marketing ideas do I have for social media? All of that can be pulled up very quickly with just a question. Journals, it's a great idea dump, to-do list items, goals, notes, research, genealogy, so much more. Whatever information you have gathered, pop it in here and it becomes the world's fastest librarian, pulling that information for you from all these sources. So what else does it do? If you have ever tried to read a long legal document or the IRS website about a specific tax procedure or any type of technical manual, and it's really long and sometimes it's even barely written in English, I'm pretty sure the legal documents have their own language, then this is perfect. It can summarize those long documents for you. So for example, if it's a legal document, you can scan it in. Since it's not sharing to the entire internet, then you don't have to worry as much about privacy. For me, just because I'm a little bit more protective, I usually redact, like I'll black out if I'm scanning it, or I will delete, if it's a digital document, the specific names and just like do a find and replace. You know, if it's a marital document, then maybe it would be wife and husband, or spouse 1 and spouse 2, or something like that. But that way I don't worry as much about if there was a problem. Never trust anything fully until I've tested it for a long time. But it has been reported to be pretty safe because it does not share your information. We'll talk about safety in a minute. But that document, you can upload it and you can ask it to summarize it for you, and it can give you all the top points. You can ask it to rewrite it in plain English. You know, that way you can see exactly what it's saying in each paragraph. It won't rewrite the original document. It will just give you a rewritten version in plain English without all the legalese. So that's fantastic. You could link the IRS website and ask it tax questions, and that way it will answer only from the IRS website. How wonderful is that? Then you're not getting random blog articles also chiming in. You're getting just that website. And it can summarize it, so you're not searching through a million different articles and trying to understand what it's saying, right? It can also help you brainstorm and stay organized. So I mentioned dumping your ideas, your notes, your marketing strategies, your to-do list. Those are great things to use as sources. So if you are looking for ideas on something, if you've already added sources of random ideas, maybe you've added all of your craft ideas. If you have, like, say, an Etsy store, right? All of your ideas for selling small wood quote signs that you make. Great. Well, maybe you can take those marketing ideas that you dumped in there and the small wooden sign product information that you've dumped in there and ask it to help you brainstorm with your marketing ideas and analyzing those marketing ideas and understanding how that works. It'll already understand it and what the product is, and it can help you come up with other creative ideas to market that product without you having to search the internet and worry about any of that. It can help you stay organized. You can dump your to-do list in and just give it a couple tags about what each to-do, either each category or how important it is to you. If you want to, you can let it try to figure it out for you, but you can dump those in as a source, like a Google Doc of all of your to-dos, and then ask it, okay, well, what are my top priority to-dos? Or what to-dos do I have to do outside the house? Things like that. And it can pull it up for you. It can even help you break down a larger to-do into smaller steps. And then if you track various research that you've gathered, or even your own health notes and things like that, perfect. You can dump all of your health notes that you want in there. You can redact personal information if you want to, just in case. You don't have to. It's up to you and your comfort level. But dump all your blood work reports, all the doctor's notes from each appointment that you've had, anything that you have about your health. And then you can quickly and easily ask, you know, what has my iron level come back with in my blood work over time? What's the trend? You can ask it, oh, what did my doctor say that I should be doing for my pain in my lower back? You can ask it all sorts of things, and it can help you analyze things too. You know, maybe you see multiple doctors that have overlapping diagnoses that they're working with. Like for me, for example, I have fibromyalgia, and I have ADHD, and I have a weird heart thing that's not an important one, but it's weird enough that I now have 2 cardiologists. So just to make sure that they're all talking to each other and saying the same things, I can have it analyze, hey, what do all 3 doctors seem to be saying about my heart? Are they conflicting in any way? What things might I need to pay attention to? Things like that. So it can help you organize the health information and your personal notes, things like that. It's only going to pull from what you've put into it. I love that it only pulls from what I put into it. So those are some of the things that you can do. 4 ways that NotebookLM can save you time and energy. And that's just 4 ways out of probably hundreds. So there are a number of ways that you can make a huge difference in your life by just incorporating, even at the smallest level, NotebookLM. And it's very easy to get started. That's one of the things that I will show you step by step live during my webinar on February 19th. I'll share that link towards the end. I will also show you ADHD specific things during tomorrow's free live Zoom call. So I want to hop over to the comments. I'm going to answer any questions that you might have so far. Then I'll give you, let's give you a couple more ideas for different lifestyles. I'll give you some ideas for small business, for like everyday life, or if you're a retiree. I'll give you some for education if you are learning something, taking a class, you have a kid in school, anything like that. And yeah, I'll give you some of those ideas once we hop over the comments. And then we'll wrap up and I'll tell you about where you can find more information, remind you about the free live Zoom tomorrow and the upcoming webinar on the 19th, explain the difference in those. Sound good? All right. And I'll also show you, I think, yeah, I will. I wasn't going to do this today, but I will show you some of the flashy things that it does as well. So I'm going to restore the screen for this part, and then I'm going to pull that back up because there's one thing that is so fun that I can't wait to show you. All right, so back to the chat. Do you have any questions? I know several of you said that you're registered. Yay! Peggy Jean's registered for tomorrow's Zoom. Awesome. She says she'll have to watch it on replay. That is okay. Remember, in the chat area on YouTube, if you're watching live, or in the description if you're watching the replay, the link for the free Zoom tomorrow is right there. Joanna's registered for the Zoom tomorrow. Yay. Oh, okay. Kathy says, I tried ChatGPT since you shared about AI, and it was very useful for information search, and I've used the option to use AI to rewrite a post and make it shorter and more concise. Ooh, I love that you did that. Look at you. That is fantastic. Yeah, I use it to organize my thoughts a lot, and you know me, I'm a little talky. So I use it to shorten my posts sometimes too, so it can tell me what to take out. It's very hard to take everything and not tell you every little thing. So I love that use. Nancy's registered for tomorrow. Whoop, whoop. Love it. Peggy Jean says, I have used Evernote in the past to organize various info. From what I hear you saying, Google Notebook not only allows us to organize our information, but also pulls concise notes from our info. Well said, Peggy Jean. You are absolutely right. So it's kind of like if you had Evernote within your notebook on NotebookLM by Google, you won't have like different areas for your sources. It's mostly like one area within Evernote with all the different pages, like one of your little notebooks, or OneNote if you're a Microsoft person. But within there, within all of those pages that you've added, which they call sources, that's where it's going to pull information from. So it's kind of like you have one of your Evernote notebooks, and you can ask it any question you want. You can have it analyze your information. You can have it pull just specific information. You can have it create summaries and FAQs and study guides and all sorts of things just from what you already entered in there. So yes, it's kind of like one little notebooks on Evernote, but with a research assistant, a really, really fast research assistant. So you don't have to go through all the notes. It will pull it for you. So Evernote's still great because you can still tag things and organize notes and add images and things like that. But I believe if you just copy specific notes from Evernote to Google Docs, I know it will be a source within NotebookLM. Like you can add it to a source. I don't think that you would be able to directly link your Evernote as far as I know yet. But knowing Google, They will probably start linking the ability to import various programs as they go along, because this is still really new. I believe it was just the beginning of February that they officially opened up NotebookLM to all individual Google One users, or like various Google platform users. And if you have a Google account right now, they don't say that they're ever going to monetize it. They probably will eventually, but right now it's free. So you can sign in through your Google account and use it for free. So check that out. Oh, I have a random banner on here. We don't need that. So check that out because this is super fun. But yes, great way to say it, like Evernote, but with a research assistant. Melanie says, welcome. She's a bit sleepy, but she's joining in. Lori says, will there be a replay of tomorrow's free webinar if we register for it? Yes, there will. So afterwards, your AI coach will share the replay with you, because I am her guest, but we are working together on putting this together for you, which is exciting. Melanie says, what free webinar is happening tomorrow? In the description of this video, it says I'm a guest tomorrow on your AI coach's live Zoom webinar, and there's a link to register for it free. I will also add that again as I recap at the end. So hopefully you can join or at least get the replay. Oh, thank you. Lori was just sharing it. Awesome. Oh, okay. It wouldn't copy for her, but I think I have it here. I will copy it and paste it at the end. I don't have it already set up to just put on the screen at the moment. Let's see. Sorry. Finding my place where I left off. There we go. Okay, Melanie found it. I wasn't sure if it showed you all the previous chat. At the very top of the chat on YouTube, if you're watching live, it has the link as well. Yay. Nancy says, can you use files from iCloud as sources? Not that I know of right now. So if you do have specific files that you would want to use, I would probably just put them over in Drive. It cannot do spreadsheets yet. I have a feeling that it will eventually add in Google Sheets, which I'm very excited about when it does. I know you're our spreadsheet queen, so you'll be excited like I will. But with any type of text documents, you can probably just bring them into Google Drive. Because if you have a Google account, like a Gmail account, you already have Google Drive. Bring it into Drive, convert it to a Google Doc, which is just a click of a button, and then you can easily use it as a source. So that's probably the easiest way to do it with iCloud, because of course, Google and Apple don't always play well together because they both want to rule the playground. So I don't know if iCloud will ever be a super easy one to connect. We'll see. Yay, Suzanne registered for the webinar too. Oh, yay, awesome. Melody says, is NotebookLM free with optional premium paid extras? It is. So the free version just simply has fewer sources, and within your sources, less space, like smaller file sizes. That's a good way to say it. Smaller file sizes that you can use as sources. It's a little bit more complex than that, but that's a general overview, but it's a lot. I only have the premium version just because I wanted to test out the differences. It's not that different from the free version right now. It's simply, I have a lot more sources that I can enter, which is so cool. So try it out for free. Go to your Google account. Let me it's just go to notebooklm.google. So www.notebooklm.google, and then you can see all the information about it and get started right there. Good question. And let me find where I was. Every time I switch from the banners at the bottom over to the comments right now, it keeps like changing where I was at in the comments. So sorry for that. Okay, so you can register for tomorrow's free Zoom call. The link is at the very top of the chat in YouTube right now if you are on live, because I put it in like before it even started. So go scroll all the way to the top of the chat and you will find it there. If you're watching the replay, or if you prefer, you can also look in the description of the video, of this video. So click on the description and the link is there as well. Yay, Melanie's signed up. Awesome, so is Priscilla. Melanie says, I'm not sure I'm using AI. I'm just not totally sure how to use it as far as putting things into it. Like, how can it read a scanned document? Great question. Love that one, actually. And I will answer that a bit more. I'll do kind of a overview answer during the free version, but during the paid webinar on the 19th, the link's also in the description and I'll share it in a little bit, I will go much more in depth into how to use it. I'll give you the steps while we're live. I will show you step by step how to do a couple things that are really super easy, but amazingly life-changingly helpful within NotebookLM. So I will make sure to share that with you. Yay, Lori just registered. She'll have to watch the replay, not a problem. Peggy Jean says, I just tried Google Notebook. I uploaded a cooking YouTube video to see if the notebook would give a concise version of the info, and it did. Yay, brilliant use. See, I've not even thought of using YouTube videos of cooking recipes, basically. That is awesome. See, you're so smart. You're already coming up with new ideas. She says, I like Google Notebook. Yay! She says, I have to practice using it now. I will try copying some of my Evernote info to Google Notebook. Let me know how it goes and what you do with it, because there's so many ideas swimming in my brain about how this can be used. I'm so excited. CJ says, yay, just registered. Awesome. Paula, welcome, welcome. She's here. She says that she signed up for tomorrow's Zoom and she's going to watch it on the replay. So the replay, after you have signed up and it has completed and uploaded and done all the things that it has to do, it will be emailed out to you. So you will receive an email with the replay link. So just make sure that you're getting the emails once you register. You should get an email within like an hour. Mine, I think, was there in my inbox within like 15 minutes, because that's how long it takes before it checks for mail again. So your AI coach seems to have it set up to come out pretty fast, but just make sure that you're watching your email inbox in your spam folder in case not as soon as you register. Make sure you get the confirmation. And if you don't, then let me know and I can make sure to connect you with your AI coach and she can help make sure that you get those emails. All right, so if you have any other questions, this is your chance. And if you want to check out NotebookLM, go to www.notebooklm.google. And I mentioned that I would share just a few more ways that it can help you, depending on your lifestyle. And one of my super fun, exciting things that it does that I've been really enjoying. So let's do the super fun last. So here are some more examples. If you have a small business, there are a number of different ways that you can use NotebookLM. For example, you could keep track of customer questions and answers that you've given to end up creating a whole FAQ or blog article or various content, or see maybe what you might not be explaining well within your marketing, just based on customer questions. And if you're dumping everything in there, then it can pull specifically from your customer questions. You can keep marketing ideas that you can easily pull from, analyze, brainstorm with, do all sorts of summarizing, and actually make it useful instead of dying in a notebook because you wrote it down but never used it. It can do product research with specific websites that are public websites that you include, or just information that you have pulled. You don't have to search through all of those scattered notes from various meetings that you've done and notes that you've taken in your notebooks and emails that people have sent you. You can dump all of the information into one spot and retrieve it in seconds. If you are in Nurture to Convert and Boss Mom, that's one of the groups that I love. for small women business owners and moms. But if you're a boss mom person and you have the Nurture to Convert course, then you can put all of your Nurture to Convert branding information and movement manifesto and definitions and beliefs and all of that, stick it all into NotebookLM, and you can make sure that whatever you're working on is within the framework that you really want to stay within. So it kind of keeps me accountable, which is really nice because I fly off into multiple directions. So with small business, I think this is essential to use for your small business. What if you are everyday life, or maybe you're retired, right? So for retirees or just for everyday life, this is not just for business, it's great for organizing personal projects, whether it's genealogy, so you can enter all sorts of information about who was related to who and dates and places and events, and have it pull up information for you. I know some of you are very into genealogy if you're watching. Mary and Brana and several more of you. This could be a game changer for helping you organize the information and find information quickly. Craft information, home information. What if you just put an entire source of all the different model numbers and item numbers and links to PDFs of manuals and things like that for your home in it? Then when it's time to order a new filter for your air conditioner, then you can go, what filter do I order for my air conditioner? And just have it tell you. You don't have to even worry about trying to find the information in your notebooks. If you volunteer somewhere, or you're part of a charity, or you attend meetings, all those different meeting notes. And you can say, what did I promise to do? What are they still waiting on from me? And have it give you a nice list. Recipes, travel planning, journaling insights, to-do lists, so many things that it can do. What if you're taking a class, or if you're a mom or a grandma, what if one of the kids is taking a class, right? What if they're still in school? It can help dump all of the notes from class, all of the meeting notes, whatever you have, the transcripts from videos or audio, dump it into one notebook, and you can create your own study guides. It can pull up FAQs that you can use to quiz yourself with. You can ask it questions, and it can help you analyze things and think deeper about it and understand things on a deeper level. So those tests are going to be so much easier with the information that you fed it, not pulling information from the internet. So you're finding new ways to use your brain and new ways to connect ideas by this assistant, this NotebookLM assistant. It's not doing the work for you, it's doing the work with you and teaching you fantastic new things. And if you're like me and you're a bit, I call it neurosparkly, so a little diverse with how you think, ADHD, maybe you're just overwhelmed, then there are so many different ways that you can manage your life when you're having trouble focusing or having trouble getting motivated or just overwhelmed and you feel like you don't even know where to start. For that, make sure to join the Zoom call tomorrow, Friday, the 14th, Valentine's Day, and give yourself a little Valentine's present. And we'll talk about some of the ways that you can organize your ADHD or overwhelmed brain. So hopefully that helps you out. Now, I promised that I will show you one of my favorite, really fun, cool things. Let me go to the chat really quickly, and then I will show you. Let's see, in the chat. Oh, I already answered Paula about the replay. Awesome. Lori says she registered and she got her confirmation email almost immediately. Fantastic. Yeah, your AI coach. I've talked to her several times. She's like me, small business owner, mom, all that good stuff. She's amazing. You're going to love her. Absolutely love her. So yes, she's fantastic at that. I'm so glad to hear that. Oh, so Melody's having trouble registering for tomorrow. I will, during our Path Member Thursday talk, maybe I can try to figure out what's going on. So there's got to be something kind of weird going on for you with that link. And we'll talk about it during the next live during the Pathfinders Thursday Talk at noon, because I will make sure that you get signed up one way or the other. I promise. Joanna says she got confirmation right away, but it went to her junk folder. Yep. Ugh, the spam filters are so strong now. I wish the AI was better at that one. Melanie says, hey, does the information that's put into Notebook stay there for future use? The sources do. Now, the information that it gives you back when you ask it a question or have it do a task, that's up to you. You can choose to save it as a source, so it can pull from that information in the future as well. Or if you choose not to save it, it actually goes away after you close out. That's part of the privacy. So it's not going to save a whole bunch of things that you might not want to ever use again, but also you know that those questions, they just get deleted. So you know that that's not even going to be saved if you ever worry about it. But yeah, so their privacy and security, it will only save and keep what you add as a source. You can also have a small notes area where you can add notes, but you have to specifically tell it to save it. So it also does not get all gunked up with random questions like I like to ask. Oh, Melanie does genealogy too. That's right. You do genealogy and you have all those horse articles and pictures and stuff that you have about the different lineage of the horses actually would be amazing in here. That's awesome. Yay, Sue's confirmed for tomorrow's Zoom. And oh, Peggy Jean says, Melody, try to refresh the page and then register. Or you may need to clear your cookies and go to the web page and register. Yeah, that is possible too. And if you don't know how to do that, Melody, then we will help you out. That's a good tip, Peggy Jean. Thank you. All right, ready for this last super fun one. And then if you're excited to learn more for free, then I will share that link again with you. It's also, the 2 links are also in the description for you as well. But let me share my screen and let me see if I can make sure that it's sharing the audio. I've never tried to share the audio before. So you'll have to tell me if this actually shares or not. I'm going to my voice might sound a little bit different for a minute because I am changing that up to see how that works. Orientation videos. This is going to be a first. Okay. All right. I think it will work. Let's see. So now I've pulled up my notebook. And like I mentioned with this notebook, I've added just a bunch of transcripts from different Thursday talks that we've talked about. And I added my link to my website so it can pull anything that's public off the website. One of the things that it can do, it can create a talk show, like a podcast interview type of show for you based on your information. Let me know if you can hear this once I hit play, but I'm going to try to play this for you. It is impressive how these voices sound. Ready? Let me know if you can hear the show or not. So if not, then I will try it a different way or do it somehow differently. Okay, Lori says she can't hear, which is a bummer. But I am wondering. So I will try one more thing and let me know if you can hear it then. I was not planning to
share this. So
I did not test it out ahead of time, but let's try this. Let me know if you can hear it. All right, I don't know if you were able to hear that or not. If not, that's okay. I will be testing it out and sharing it during the free Zoom as well as during the webinar. So if you can't hear it, that's okay. I'm sorry. Yeah, Brennan, people say no, darn it, but I will definitely share it later. And when you go in to your notebook on the right-hand side, it'll have the option to create that audio talk show. Also on the right-hand side, you can add notes. You can also just with one button click, create a study guide based on your sources, FAQ, a briefing doc, a timeline, all sorts of stuff. So I highly encourage you to go play around with this. If you're worried about entering any data, enter something that has no personal information to start with and just play around with it. You can even enter links to specific websites that have a bunch of public information. Try adding just the link to my website and see what it says about it, and then create an audio talk show. And it can, I've not done that for my website yet. I probably should. They can create a talk show about the website and what it says. So try it out. It's pretty genius. I absolutely think it's amazing. And like I mentioned, for the ADHD ideas and overviews, let me put that on the screen really quickly. Scroll to the top. So this is for the tomorrow, the live Zoom. I'm a guest on the Your AI Coaches show, and her name is Angelina. You will love her. On Friday, February the 14th at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And if you cannot make it live, it's okay. If you still register, then after the show is finished and she's done all of her uploading, downloading, all the stuff, then she will send out an email with a replay. So that way you can listen to the replay. So it's kind of a long link here. It's aicoachingwithangelina.com/AI powered productivity hacks. There's a dash between each of those words. AI powered productivity hacks. This link is in the description for this show. So if you click on the description for today's video, it's there. I will also post this and the other link in the Facebook group, as well as I will send out an email later tonight with this information as well. The other resource that I have for you, I am doing another one of my Suzanna Kaye webinars. So this one is an in-depth walkthrough. So I'm adding the information right now to the comments, and I will put it on the screen. An in-depth walkthrough of NotebookLM and ChatGPT. Sorry, not the two. Tomorrow's live, ADHD. NotebookLM and ChatGPT to help you with overwhelm and ADHD. The in-depth live webinar will have walkthroughs, live walkthroughs. I will show you how to do the things that we're talking about doing, specifically within NotebookLM. So if you go to SuzannaKaye.live/live-AI-research-assistant-webinar. I know that one's long too. I'm sorry. That's why I put it in the chat and in the description of the show. But if you go there, it's $25 until the event starts, and then it will be $30 for the replay afterwards. If you register for the $25, you will still get the replay afterwards for free. But this one, you will learn exactly step by step how to do some of these top tasks within NotebookLM, including how to create your own talk show summary based on what sources you've added. I'll touch on it really quickly in the free Zoom, but I will go in depth into the how-to in the paid webinar. So free Zoom, more of an overview of things you can do and a little bit about it. In-depth webinar, if you want to be shown step by step while live, and you can ask me questions, you can even do it while you're on live with me if you want to, then that's for you. Hopefully that helps. I believe it's also in the store at SuzannaKaye.com, and then go to the store, and I will be adding it to the calendar ASAP. All right. Well, hopefully you enjoyed that. Path members, we're hopping over to our Pathfinder Thursday talk just for our members. After this, you can ask me more questions. Melody, we will make sure that you get registered and that link works for you. We'll catch up with each other, and we'll just have a lot of fun like we always do. And yeah, go register for the free Zoom. I mean, it's free. Worst case scenario, you watch the replay and you learn a few things and get some ideas, and you'll know a little bit more. And register if you want to know a lot more about exactly how to do some of these things that are going to truly, they've changed my life already, and this is still brand new. Then make sure to register for the webinar, my webinar on February 19th. Both links are in the description, and I'm so excited to share this with you. I will pretty much not talk about a lot of different AI programs on Thursday Talks or within Suzanna Kaye Organizing, because I don't think that you need 5 million tools to do the things that you need to do. So this is actually one of the ones right now that I think is an essential. So if I talk about it here, then you know this is one of the core essential pieces that is easy, it's safe, and it's going to change your life. Go try it out. I love you. And as usual, you've got this, beautiful. Keep it up. Talk to you soon. Bye now.